This relivery will stand out on any BR blue 1970s period layout. Hi there everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's great to see you. I hope I find you well. I'm Jennifer Kirk, welcoming you up here to Weir Yard in the Loft. Now today we're going to be taking a look at a locomotive that I've found at a bargain price, and that's a bit of a rarity in these days. We've become used to price rises and locomotives now touching the £300 mark in some instances. So I thought that I'd put you on to a model that I found for actually less than £130 for an all-new tooled model, brand new, and they have got at least 10 of these according to their website. And this is the special commission of the Heljan Class 25 in two-tone green, but with the tops number applied, and this comes from TMC. Now, I've bought this using the Super Chat money that you guys recently donated on the Monday Club, and I'd like to extend a huge thanks to all of you who did that, and I thought it was important to show you just where that money goes. I kind of mystery shoppered this, so I ordered it from TMC. They didn't know that it was a model for review, just bought it like anybody else, and it was only afterwards that I asked for permission to use some of the photographs from the website. So we do have a link in the description box down below, but it's not an affiliate link, it's just really helping you guys out to find where you can get this locomotive. At the moment they're on sale for under £130, which is actually an amazing price and certainly less than these models were selling retail just a few months ago. You may remember that we did a full review of the Heljan Class 25, and we also did a fun little project to add switchable cab lighting on DCC, so there's a lot you can do with these. But certainly this one really caught my eye, and as a model it's the very last locomotive in BR service that retained its BR two-tone green, lasting right through into the late 1970s, so certainly something to add a splash of colour to any layout. So come with me in association with Trainomatic, makers of DCC decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. And if you're looking for a DCC fitting guide for the Heljan Class 25, I've helpfully included a DCC fit of this model, so stay tuned for that towards the end of the video, and I'll show you exactly how you can easily DCC fit this yourself using the Trainomatic 21-pin decoder. Additional support for this video comes from Billy's Replacement Speakers, who provide all of our branded merch. So if you're looking for anything from the Billy's Replacement Speakers portfolio, but I'm really excited to show you this model I found, so come with me and let's see, does it cut the mustard? The Heljan Class 25 has been out for a little while now and actually proved incredibly successful, not least the BR Tops versions, which at the time of looking are almost all sold out everywhere you look. Now, almost. What I have found is that one retailer who commissioned a special livery version of one of these 25s still actually has their version with a tops number on in stock, and not only that, they currently during this month they've got a really great offer, and I thought that this would be a really great option to actually use some of the money that you guys have been incredibly generous on the Monday Club and sent via Super Chat and PayPal.me to expand my Class 25 fleet by one, with what is actually quite an eye-catching livery. Now, two-tone green, I already have two in my collection from Bachmann, and I'm not normally a big fan of D numbers, but this is something different. In the 1970s, the corporate blue era started to really take over, locomotives were repainted, and tops numbers appeared on the sides. But there were a few locomotives that escaped a repaint for quite some time. That didn't mean they escaped the tops numbers being applied, and this particular locomotive was quite a celebrity in that it was the final two-tone green diesel locomotive running in service on BR, and it lasted until actually the quite late 70s. Now, it did get its tops number applied, and if we look to the end of the box there, we can see that this Class 25, catalogue number 2542, is the two-tone BR green 25102 with the full yellow ends, and this was the TMC exclusive. Now, I've had quite a lot of exclusives from TMC over the years. Really love some of the items that they've taken a punt on and commissioned. I've got the Conflat Shunter Runners wagons, the 22-ton bolsters. I also supported them when they, in partnership with Bachmann, brought out the BR Mark 1 horse boxes. And I've also got a number of triple packs of vans, things like the weathered ice blue ventilated vans. There's a whole host of them. In fact, the more I think, the more I'm coming up with examples, but certainly so many great models. But this one in particular really caught my eye, because in January, TMC had a big sale on, well, still have at the time of filming, and hopefully by the time this comes out, you'll still be able to follow the link in the description box and maybe snag yourself one of these at what is actually an incredible price. I think I paid only, it was under £130 posted for this model, which, you know, we've just had over £300 of models announced, and this high-spec model is under £130 delivered to your door. Now, I'm going to get this out of the packaging. We have reviewed the Class 25 in the past, so I'm not going to dwell on the model itself too much. But what I will say is that this is from the same production run as the models that we reviewed when they first came out. But this particular model I did buy myself mystery shopper style, although subsequently approached TMC and they gave me permission to use some of the photographs and sort of 360-degree views that are on their website. So I would like to thank them for that. But this is just purchased mystery shopper style by myself. Now, it also comes with some detailing packs. So we get the two couplings, some extra buffer beam detail as well, but the eagle-eyed will spot that the locomotive actually comes with all of the buffer beam detail factory applied at both ends. And what this actually means is that if you want to add a coupling, it's quite easy to do. You have to remove some of this buffer beam detail at the one or both ends that you want to add a coupling. But it means there's none of that faff, and I do like that. And they do give you the spares. These are actually duplicates of what's already on the locomotive, and I think it is a nice touch from Heljan. We also have the Snowplows, like a three-part little snowplow that just allowed these locomotives to cope with minor dustings of snow. And then we also have the frost grills too, which you can add if you so wish. We've got some of these step blanking plates, and we did talk about this in the previous review, and these allow you to blank off some or all of these steps as the locomotives in later life, basically to stop people from climbing up onto the roof and running the risk of coming into contact with the overhead electrics that were on a number of lines. They actually plated these over just to really stop the access, but some locomotives didn't get the plating until different points in time, and also sometimes the plates actually fell out. They weren't welded in particularly well. So that gives you ultimate flexibility to be able to do that. Now, the livery itself is really nicely applied. We've got that very distinctive two-tone green with the ferret and dartboard crest on the side. And I really do like, and I talked about this in the previous review, the extra roof detail. Everything on this really is so nicely done, and below the sole bars as well, the Heljan model really does stand out from the Bachmann alternative, and all in all it did score really well. It's got a really durable, strong mechanism that does make these a solid performer on the track, and this one is no exception. It performs exactly the same as the previous ones that I've reviewed, and as you may have seen in some of the other videos as well, whilst these locomotives don't feature things like switchable cab lighting, which has subsequently started to be seen on a lot of new tooled models, it is really easy to add that in, and both of these models I've added that in, and I will probably do exactly the same with this one as well. And I find that actually little projects like that really easy for the average modeler to do, and certainly can add a lot of interest to your layout and to your modeling. But let's put these to one side now, and let's concentrate on what is actually in this day and age an absolute bargain. The livery application is really nice and crisp, and really that's the interesting bit for me. We've got the TOPS data panel, we've also got the builder plates as well, and then on a green background panel we've got the TOPS number 25102. Now I expect that that green panel on the real locomotive was painted over the D number, and then the vinyl letters were just added over the top. What surprised me a little bit, and this is totally accurate to photographs of the real locomotive, is that whilst the TOPS data panel has this blue background, they didn't paint out the old D number in blue to put those TOPS numbers over the top. And I'm guessing that they found a tin of BR green knocking about to use instead. Looking at the other end of the model, it also has plain green panel where the D number that would have been at the other end was painted out as well. And it's a wealth of little subtle details like this which really do make a model. It's nicely researched, and it gives something really different but also thoroughly authentic for a BR Blue 1970s era layout, and I certainly relish the idea of having this locomotive running in amongst my BR Blue diesels. I'm a little bit of a sucker for this livery. I do like my locos to have TOPS numbers, but I also like the BR green. So this model is the perfect synergy of both of those concepts. The grey roof as well, I think this is something that always does look really good on diesels. There's something about the grey roof looks so much better than a plain blue one. Looking to the underframe, this is really where the Heljan model knocked it out of the park for me. The bogies do look really, really good with the fabricated frames. One of the things that these models sometimes get, which is quite an easy fix, is you can see that some of these little holes in the bogie side frames have a little bit of flash in them, and the holes are there, and it's quite simple to just push them out. All in all, this is a really great solid model. I was really pleased with the regular main range versions of the 25, and this relivery is certainly one that will stand out on any BR Blue 1970s period layout. It's also a great one for anybody who wants to employ Rule 1 and just have that something a little bit different, and certainly at the price that they're available, just under £130 post free, I thought it was just too good an offer to pass on by, and certainly I wanted to share with you guys about this because I think there's quite a lot of people who, certainly as we've had the announcements of the Hornby 2022 range, price has been a big talking point. So I just wanted to show that there still are some really great offers out there if you just look around a little bit. And I was just really surprised that they still had a number of these still in stock. So we've got a link down below. Like I said, I've bought this using the super chat money, and a big thank you to all of the generous people who donate on the Monday Club. And I just wanted to show you where that money actually goes ploughed back into the channel to be able to make the videos that you want to see. Now, in terms of DCC fitting, we recommend the Trainomatic 21-pin decoder, and I've also got here a smart power pack. Now, the performance of the model is good enough that, in all honesty, I don't think you need the smart power pack, But for those people who really do love their stay alives and the roll-on potential that has, certainly just smooth things out over dirty track or Insulfrog points, then this is a really great, easy to add, viable option for the Trainomatic decoders. Dcc Fitting the Model is really easy. In fact, so easy, I'm just going to very quickly show you here and now. So we've got 4 screws, and you'll just have to slide the bogies to one side with a thumb, and it usually does help a little bit if you can take them all of the way out, otherwise you can't slide the bogie back again. Just put these to one side safely so that they don't disappear into the deep blue yonder. There's a second one there. And then we've got a third one here. Just be careful not to scrape the detail on the sides of the bogies. And the fourth one there. And then the whole body just carefully wriggles free. And be careful, because there are wires that are attached on the inside. And this will open up, and you can see the blanking plate there. Really is simple to just pull this free, and whilst we're in here you can see there's a lot of internal space, plenty of room to put not one but actually 2 speakers if you want. Stay alives will fit nicely in here, and you can also see all that cab detail too. And this as well would be a really nice project, just to very carefully pick out some of this detail with some reds, with some sort of gunmetal silvers, highlight all of the detail that's on here, add in a driver, maybe a second man, and there's a lot you can do, and fitting cab lighting is really simple. So what we need to do is just very carefully wiggle out the blanking plate, a little bit on one side. Don't do it entirely from one side, otherwise you'll bend the pins. Just work it free, and you'll feel when it comes up. Put that to one side, and then what we're going to do is just add in the Trainomatic 21 pin decoder. Just look for the locating pin. You'll be able to see it really easily, and that matches up with the locating pin on the model, and then it shouldn't need any real force. If you're having to put force in, then it means the pins are misaligned and you need to stop and just double check that. And it's as simple as that. By default, that is loco ID number 3. We can put it on the programming track, we can check it. I always advocate just read back the number on the chip. If you get ID 3, then everything is all right. If you get anything else, then you do need to investigate before you apply main track power to the locomotive, just to avoid any kind of damage occurring. But it really is easy. When you come to put the lid of the locomotive back on, just make sure that you don't trap this wire, and just seat everything back nice and neatly. And of course that does mean that you don't end up with the body reversed from the chassis, because those wires just force you to keep these the right way round. And then we just reapply those 4 screws. Performance of the Class 25 is actually really great out of the box. Whilst running in is recommended, it isn't strictly speaking necessary, I found, and as you can see, this locomotive romped away on my track with an extensive rake of Bachmann 16-ton mineral wagons. This rake is far longer than the average modeler would probably have on their layout, and it performs a great test of any locomotive's haulage and adhesion. Wear yard includes some gradients on the main line, and there was no appreciable wheel slip at all, even when tested with an exceptionally long train. From very slow crawling speed right up to a scale maximum for this Type 2. I found that it was super easy to get this locomotive to just crawl along, even out of the box. And the more that I ran it, the better it got. When you consider that the rail blue tops numbered versions of this Heljan Class 25 sold out exceptionally quickly, I find it quite staggering that such an attractive livery as this, with the tops number, is still around at TMC. And it's probably more a case that few people have quite realised that it's there rather than anything else. It is an exceptional value for money model, and even though Heljan have announced a second run of these Class 25s by popular demand, I can't imagine that you're going to get any of those for anywhere near this amazing price. We have a link in the description box down below that takes you to the relevant page on TMC, and it's well worth checking this out if you're after another Class 25 to add stalwart service to your fleet. But the offer ends at the end of January, and we don't have any affiliation with TMC. I just thought that sometimes it's worth just letting you guys know that there are still some great value locomotives out there to add to your fleet in these cash-starved times. I'd like to extend a thank you to TMC for letting me use the photographs from their website, and I'd also like to extend a huge thank you to all those in the Monday Club who donated over the Super Chat or the PayPal.me link, because if it wasn't for you guys, I couldn't have bought this locomotive. Thank you ever so much. Well, I hope you really enjoyed that video, and I'd love to hear from you. Do leave a comment down below to let me know what you thought of this locomotive. Now, the Heljan Class 25 has been on the market now for a little while, so it's had time to get out there, and actually it's been a sellout. Certainly the tops numbered versions, I can't find anywhere that's got them in stock at the moment. There may be a few out there, but certainly the usual sources I go to, they have completely sold out, which makes this a really great buy, being a tops numbered 25. But do you agree with my review? Is this a model that you've got yourself, or is there something that you think that I've missed? Please leave a comment down below. And also, if there's any further information that you think would be really important for other viewers to this video, it's a great way to share that information with them too. Don't forget to tickle that like button, share this video, and also subscribe to the channel to be the first to know about new videos as and when they go up. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take great care of yourself, happy modelling, and keep on hunting for those bargains. Until then, bye for now. Today's video is sponsored by Trainomatic, makers of DCC decoders designed to be fully compatible with every manufacturer's locomotive. Visit train-o-matic.com to browse the full range and see what they've got suitable for you. I'd like to send out a huge thanks to everybody who supports me on Patreon, and an extra special huge thanks goes out to Anthony Kidson, Offshore Allen, Michael Lockie, Helen Sink, Gary Lewis, David Quinn, Sparky 107107, George Botterini, Chris Moss, Robert Steers, MD of San Juan Model Company and Grantline Products, Sam Yates, Dale Williams, John N from NC, NYMRish, Jonathan Foster, Peter, Clifford Ison, Larry W. Grant, NI Railways 4000 Class, Ian Coulson, and Alan Dickerson. Thank you. Without you guys, I couldn't do this.